Okay.
All right. Well, if it's all right with you guys, I'd like to do the prologue because I need to recover from some conditions, and also it's fun to do the prologue unless somebody else really wants to do it.
Go ahead.
All
Go for
right.
it.
All right.
Yeah, from a technical standpoint, it's pretty good for you to do it.
All right. So the session opened right after the candle had guttered out, the flames all went out, and there was a scary sound in the darkness. There's something that is in the tomb down here with us. Elendil channeled his nature to aid in his hunting in an effort to learn one of the creature's nature descriptors and
Are
found out.
you reading from the
Am I not supposed to be doing that?
again? No, go from memory.
From memory. Got it. Okay. Thank you. I won't do it that way. I thought I was allowed to do that. I won't do it that way.
Well, yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, so starting out, the flame guttered out. We had a sense that there was something bad down here in the tomb with us. And Elendil was able to figure out that one of its nature descriptors was slaying the living, and that's when Sister Cadigan realized that this was a some sort of terrible undead thing, a tomb guardian of some kind, and was able to do one of her spells, which summons the fury of the Lords of Life against undead creatures, and was able to drive it away. And following that, there was some effort to figure out sigils in the floor of the sanctuary. And I can't remember exactly who was involved with that. But we learned something about the nature of this path of illumination or something like that. Because this was all a tomb that's about figuring out how to gain immortality through some kind of rites of purification, and it seemed like there was some quasi Buddhist process of purging yourself. So there's some kind of ninefold path or eightfold path that was involved. I'm doing a very bad job of this.
No, you're not.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, you're you're pretty much getting everything.
And there was an effort to open a sarcophagus, and this was, I believe, oh, that's right. There's a really interesting trap that guarded the sarcophagus, and they were able to figure out how the trap worked. That if you rotated the lid of the sarcophagus off, but left one of the four corners in place, the trap wouldn't go off. And so they were able successfully to remove the sarcophagus and see inside it. I think that's where we left off.
Right.
Yep, and you're about to look into the sarcophagus.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, are you guys satisfied with this prologue?
Yes.
Yeah, it's great. Holy shit, better than I could have done.
I'd just like to point out though that like from what I recall, deciphering the sigils and such came at great cost to Skooky, did it not?
It did.
That's right. That's right.
It did.
Did.
I am sick.
Yeah,
Weary.
he's yeah, he's
It
all
was a
he's
weird one
twisted
looking.
up.
I think you were also like it felt like in your role play you were like kind of mad and like wild, like gone crazy a little bit, like you were uh,
Yeah, the sick is like mental.
mentally
I,
sick. Okay.
I
Yeah.
did try to wander off, but I think you guys stopped me.
Yeah, I
Yes.
got pissed off. Yeah. I'm like currently pissed and impatient and fiery and angry about everything.
And if I alleviate a condition, having given the prologue, I'm supposed to do this in recovery order. So just to clarify, it's in from top to bottom, the least important of the conditions, the upper one before the lower one. Is that correct?
Yeah, so angry is gonna get done first.
Done. Okay.
Yep.
And at
Thanks.
what point in the grind are we right now?
Good question. According to this record, we are about to hit fourth turn, and so we're gonna get hungry again.
This is the second cycle.
It'll be our second cycle. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that happening to me now?
It's the next time someone does something, then we'll have finished 4 rolls, and then we'll be hungry again.
All right, I am heading over to the other
Wait,
room.
hold on one sec. Before anything like that happens.
Goals.
Yeah, so into the fourth turn, so there's gonna be one more turn, then the grind will hit.
Mhm.
Right.
And now that the prologue is done and Cadigan recovered her angry, just everyone real quick, go to your traits and clear your beneficial uses. Don't clear your checks if you've gotten any, but clear your beneficial uses so you can use the traits again this session. Excuse me.
Clear your
Do you clear it by just
Just to the left of the first dot.
Yeah, there's a little X that will
Oh,
appear.
okay, thank you.
Okay, and now I described the obstacles. Yeah, so you you're about to look into the sarcophagus. The trap has been disarmed, and there is this sort of like sense of like weirdness in this room. You know, I mean, a lot of it had to do with Skooky kind of stirring things up. But it's just feeling kind of wacky in here. There has started to be like a couple of sort of like knocking kind of sounds in the distance from the room that you just came in, the ones where the skeletons kind of came to the door, but they were pushed away. You hear a
Mhm.
little bit of noise coming from that room. But yeah, you know, as far as direct obstacles, direct things threatening you, you know, you feel a little bit safe. But yeah, who knows what can happen.
All right. So we need
There
to
is
set new goals.
Yep, set new goals.
and we don't clear the checks yet, right?
Don't, you know, no, you keep the checks. And remember, uh a skill roll is a test. Like anytime you roll the dice as a test, and checks are separate. So sometimes you know we mix up the two words, but they're very distinctly different things. You know, getting a check means using a trait against yourself, and it's the currency that you use to get to make camp. Tests are dice rolls. So just
And where am I looking for checks? Where I just want to see where my records are.
It would be in your traits. Some of you use traits against yourself. So
Yeah,
In
yeah.
the fourth column.
Okay. So I
I
don't
think
have anything checked off. I don't recall if I was supposed to check something off there.
I think you did get a check though.
I
Yeah,
do
you
recall getting one.
you
Yeah.
earned a check in the first session
In the
on
first session.
on one of your 2 traits. And if you don't remember,
Quick-witted, I think it was.
then mark a check under quick-witted.
And then I remember in the last session, I had used hidden depths and I was sort of like trying to talk my way into a situation that kind of got lost and you guys encouraged me. And then I don't remember where that went. Do you guys recall that?
Hidden depths, that was nature, right? No.
It had something to do with the trap. And
Yeah, I think you were like really giving it your all
yeah,
to really, you know, use all of your abilities and your
So you think he got a beneficial use?
I did have a beneficial use checked off.
There you
Uh,
go. Then that
So
would have been
is that a check?
nope.
no.
No, okay.
That goes away now. So
Okay.
the beneficial uses are once per session.
I cleared them.
Yeah, we've
Yep.
cleared them.
Okay, cool. Sorry.
So do you guys remember if I used fiery as a check against myself? Not really, eh? I role
I
played,
don't
but I didn't actually use it. So because I was angry, so it kind of tied together. It was just me role playing.
Mm.
I have a quick question about writing the goal.
Oh wait, one sec. Skooky has a check. Where's
I
Skooky?
did.
Come on. Okay, you got it. Yeah, you got it. Okay. I just saw it in the record. Okay. Okay. Who was that you, Sanj? Just about to ask a
Yeah,
question?
yeah.
Okay.
Like when you're writing your goal, do you are you keeping in mind like your current state? Like I'm angry, and so I can get into my head as angry Elondil in this situation and say, this is how I feel in the moment right now, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 Your goals change with your mindset,
Yeah.
so if you're angry, then heck yeah, it's gonna, and it helps you possibly get an embodiment reward. It really, and if somehow that feeds into your beliefs and whatever else, all the better. Definitely, yeah. Let angry, afraid, any of those things, exhausted, let that color what your goal is going to be.
So I feel like in an angry state, I want to like kill something, like I will destroy a skeleton or I will, But I know, you guys caution against being violent in this game.
Well, it's going to
But
happen at some point.
yeah, okay,
Yeah, I mean,
all right,
because if you're angry and you are possibly like a violent person, it's going to happen, you know.
yeah,
Um, just in real life, it's not good to be violent,
yeah,
but like sometimes you get violent with some, but so
okay.
yeah, no, that's a great question. And yeah, that's something to keep in mind. Let your conditions, you know, change your mindset, your role playing, what your goal is going to be. Because this game is about planning and sticking together and being as careful as you can. But it's also about being a human, or what you know what I mean. Like
Yeah,
having human
a
human
person.
behavior. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not updating our goals yet, though, right?
We are right now trying to
Yeah.
do.
Yep.
So I've written, I will destroy these abominations to protect the mission.
That's nice. I like that.
Uh-oh.
Did I get those conditions through as a result of being scarred by casting such a powerful spell? Is that correct?
Wait. Oh, say that again.
Did I acquire those conditions as a result of casting that spell? I think that's my memory of it.
Yep.
That it was the taint or the mark of the gods on me that gave me the conditions.
Yeah. Yep. And you still have your sort of like
That's
horn
right.
marks,
That's right. Right.
which was a nice choice, which a nice effect. Sanj, it looks like you changed your belief. The dwarves and elves are too insular. I will earn my riches and make a name for myself. Um, make it one sentence
Hmm.
and make it something that you believe to be absolutely true. Like I will earn my riches and make a name for myself. That's more like a goal. It's more like an overall goal. In like you're kind of writing it like a
Burning wheel.
burning wheel belief. Yeah.
Yeah, the dwarves and elves are too insular. Uh,
Yeah. So I mean, so what is this thing that you believe about yourself? It's not like it sounds like the second sentence is what where the belief is kind
okay.
of rooted here.
Yeah, like I've chosen this life of adventure and vagabond and leaving the home and seeing where the road may take me and where that kind of thing like um uh, I have chosen the life of an adventurer.
Because Skooky's belief is um, powerful magics are my birthright. So um, it almost sounds like yours is a little bit similar to that. Um, like if you because you want to make a name for yourself. So um I mean, I suppose you can say I willed something something, even though it sounds a little bit like a goal, but as long as you can make it like a little bit more like punchy and a little bit more like this is the thing that's on your mind, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, like I will earn uh what is that called? I will earn songs will be sung of my deeds kind of thing, you know?
Oh yeah.
I love it.
That's much closer
That's great.
because it's something that you believe will happen. It has to do with like you're projecting illusion
Yeah, like
on the world.
yeah, once we kind of moved to Greyhawk, I'm like, I'm gonna be a hero. Like I'm gonna be a knight of Luna. I mean, people in 4 Year Undy are gonna be like, yeah, that's a Lawndale.
I gotta hit the
Yeah.
restroom, guys. I'll be right back.
Okay. And for the listeners at home, we changed from my weird homebrew half-baked setting to Greyhawk, classic D&D setting. So we can just dive into some classic
Yeah.
weird D&D stuff that a
Yeah.
lot of us haven't had gotten the chance to experience firsthand. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
excited.
yeah.
I found a 80 meg, like a huge 80 meg map,
Yeah,
super high resolution.
nice.
Mm.
I
Nice.
love that map, that beautiful the one from the 83 box set is
Is it, Sanj, is it the Hex one?
yeah, the one you're looking at, yeah, these
Yeah,
days.
I love that too. The type on it is so good.
Yeah.
It's all done by hand and like man, it's so good.
I find the thing I like about it is compared to Forgotten Realms is things are closer and like it feels more and there's like more like there's just like more little I don't know, it's probably all the same, right? But I just like that setting a lot.
What's
It's
the
Yeah.
scale here? How big is a hex?
I think
Probably a day's walk or something like that.
yeah, I think it's like 6 miles.
Oh, okay. So it's less than a day's walk.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
I thought
stuff
it was
is
a day's
like
walk.
on top of
I'm
itself.
I'm not sure about that map, what the scale is actually, but I know
Mm.
no normally
So I'm Sister Cadigan is still afraid. And afraid of she drove back those skeletons, but I think she's afraid of what she's becoming. That's the because of these horns. Um uh
Because that was the burden, that was the stigmata.
you're right, right. That was the stigmata. So I think she's afraid of that. I'm trying to figure out what's a good goal that sort of meaningfully touches on that stuff. Um,
I think try to think of because last at the end of the last session, you were really kind of like crossing over like Chuck the player and Cadigan the character
right,
because you were like because you're the team leader,
right,
but both in
right,
character and out of character,
right,
and you were starting to freak out because you were afraid and you were angry, and
right.
everyone was just getting crazy. Everybody's just like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna go do
yeah,
this. I'm like, we got the halfling climbing all over the place, and like
right,
Skooky is like dripping ink all over the place and running into the other
right,
room, and like and Elendil's like, what the fuck is going on? And Cadigan was just
right.
like, what? So like, like carry that into now. Like, you've recovered from afraid, but like,
Or I've
oh wait,
recovered from
no.
angry, but not from afraid.
Oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong sheet. Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong sheet. Um, yeah, so that's subsided, but you're still, I feel like, um, kind of remember like blend in the end of last session into now,
Right.
um, with the new, you get to change your mind, but it's still a flow, um, So, oh, and I mean, maybe we can decide who's team leader, and we can kind of all, work
Yeah.
on goals at the same time. Do you want to step back and
Yeah.
let
Oh,
a
yeah.
cooler head prevail?
I think that's no question. She wants to step back and let someone else do this for a while. So
I
her
feel
old one was,
Nullsworth.
I'll,
Nullsworth seems like the most composed at the moment because everybody else has got this like emotional state happening.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Because Elendil, you're angry. What
I'm
what made
angry.
you what made you angry?
Um, Failing. What was it actually? That's a good
Oh, I'm
question.
not sure.
Do you remember? It was like it was in
Was
this
it?
it was in this room and it was with Skooky in a lore master test.
Oh, you helped him and he
Yeah,
failed.
yeah.
Right. So what are
You
you
know,
angry about? Are you angry that? Well, I won't suggest. Like
no,
what
no,
what what?
I had a cool idea. Like one of the original tribes of the Flannis, the map of Greyhawk, which may be Hath Vashor, like because you kind of think of like prehistoric times, right? Like dolmens and all that was this group called the Urflan, right? And they were had like a druidic cult, like animistic type of religion, but then some following Vecna went into like dark arts and necromantic arts and preserving bodies and stuff like that. And maybe like all the elves were saying, fuck, that's all done. Like back home in the elves or the dwarves, that's bullshit. And then now I'm seeing it like here in front of me and I'm getting pissed off. Like, what? Yeah. And then the frustration of Skooky like running out that way and the banging on the other side coming from the hallway of the skeletons, like trying to get through. And Sister Cat again, like in a paroxysm and starting to have like you're having stigmata, right? Like little,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So it's just my blood starts to boil because I'm like a warrior.
Stand, you are a
Cool.
font of knowledge, my friend.
Oh, so
Yeah.
the original Greyhawk map, Darlene map, 1 hex equals 30 miles.
Yeah.
30.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's the
Okay.
campaign map. That's the 6 miles. The
Mm.
Yeah,
zoomed in one is the 6 mile one.
Yeah.
cool.
So it really is about, if you were moving really fast, you might get 1 hex in a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like on horses nonstop.
Yeah.
This is awesome. So do we get started now? Is it the
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah, are we on
don't have a
beliefs?
good
Let's just make sure everyone's got their goals.
Oh
Mm.
yeah.
why don't the
Nelson,
rest of you read your goals out loud and then I'll have created one by then.
All
and
right.
maybe can you read your goal, your belief too, just so that I get a picture of your characters? Okay. Yeah.
Who are you asking?
Everyone, like let Peter, you start.
Okay. Oh, wrong Peter.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so currently my belief is I need to act fast and find a way to free my fellow thralls and later myself. That's my belief. So I've sort of appended this like state of urgency into it now, since we've kind of been in there for a little while. And I'm like, we went in here and did the work, but now I'm like, where are results?
Mm,
So I've just appended it with a little bit of urgency. And then goal, I will find something of a value to appease the expectations of my master, Natus Greenstreet. So sort of very eyes on the prize at the moment.
perfect. And Hank.
All right. My belief hasn't changed. Powerful magics are my birthright. And my goal is I want to find out the nature of these floating lights. They are calling to me. It
Nice.
must be because I deciphered the sigil. Something is telling me the secret. I need to know it.
Nice. Now we're getting into trouble. Um,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
Chuck, are you ready?
Yeah, I think so. So my belief is I am the church. And is it appropriate for me to have the as a goal, I will keep Skooky uh safe since Skooky is clearly trying to get into trouble?
Yeah. I mean, are you feeling that? In this moment,
Yeah, because I'm feeling cautious and afraid. So I think it's appropriate for her to be trying to keep Skooky safe since Skooky is ready to go out and get into trouble and already got into a lot of trouble last time.
Yeah, and that's great. And this is you coming off of being the team leader and sort of
Right.
trying to keep everybody together. Yeah, now you're sort of stepping away from that, but still trying to protect. That's cool. That works.
Yeah, and you guys know mine, but it's belief songs will be sung of my deeds, and goal is I will destroy these abominations to protect the mission.
Great.
Cool.
Great. So team leader.
Am I taking on that role?
Seems like it.
I think with Nulsworth being a thrall, but also being sort of like the big brother to his fellow thralls. This is sort of a weird situation where he's typically he's under everyone, and he sort of feels that way in general, in relationship to everyone, but also kind of like the eldest brother in a family with alcoholic parents. He sees that he has to sort of somehow be the little guy taking care of all the big guys,
What if
and
what if you did it like this, Pete? What if you always said, should I do this or should I do that? When you wanted to do something, you would ask the group, should I do this?
hmm
That
yeah,
would
I
be
feel like there would be definitely some like questioning of the self at the same time as like seeing that we're in a bit of an urgent situation with the crew falling apart.
Mhm.
So I think it would be like first of all trying to get you guys to focus from your various distractions. So it would be like something like, hey guys, we've got it open. Like look over here. Look, this is what we're here for, guys.
I kind of also see it as a bit of a shift because like, the other guys have conditions. Um, and aside from that, they've kind of gone, a bunch of different directions, and you've had some success in last session.
mm,
Really just kind of like keeping your head straight and searching, for a way to open up the sarcophagus, finding the trap, disarming the trap, and doing all that stuff. And
mm,
this could also just kind of be the thing where like, everyone is just like, trying all kinds of stuff, and you're just like, click, 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 click.
yeah.
Yeah, no problem. And I think maybe just the team leader thing has just sort of shifted to you because everyone else is just like, we don't know what the hell to do. And this
hmm
little guy just found just did something right and
Yeah.
is, kind of like, oh, okay, this guy's got this
It's
guy's
like
got
a
his shit
little bit of
together
a
right now.
paradigm shift sort
Yeah.
of thing. Mm.
Do you guys sort of
Um,
feel that way maybe?
sure.
Okay. All right, Eric, can you describe the setting to start the role play? Like what like that little then we can start role playing.
Sure. Yeah. All
Cool.
right. So the uh what's his name? Nullsworth has figured out the trap mechanism, figured out that he can pull the lid almost all the way off, but leave one little pressure, it's like a ball bearing kind of thing, like leave that in place. He's found out that there's spears that are going to come down, out of these chutes, if he does it incorrectly. But there's that sound, everything's quiet. There's a sound of stone on stone, like.
mm.
Um, and are you all around the sarcophagus except maybe for Skooky who's trying to skook off?
Yeah, I'm definitely not around because I believe that I should go out and look at the lights because what if there's like an explosion and the trap goes off from the sarcophagus. I think it's crazy to be around there, so I'm gonna wait the next room and check out the lights.
All right. So anyone who's around the sarcophagus, who it would be Nullsworth, it would be
Elondale.
Elondil and
Because I was
Cadigan.
helping him.
Okay.
Well, so Cadigan is trying to keep Skooky safe, and if that's what she's really about at this moment, I think she might be with Skooky in the threshold of the door as Skooky tries to leave, and I'm like, wait, hold on, let's not get too far away.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So whoever is around the sarcophagus, these two guys, you slide the door open and you look in, and in the sarcophagus, next to what next to like a mummified body, like a wrapped up, sort of shriveled kind of like body, is someone lying there next to it, um just a person that, I mean, they look alive, or possibly freshly dead, but they, have the kind of garb, fabrics and stuff that are common to this town that's nearby.
Oh,
Mm.
shit.
Just like lying there, like looking dead, but um
Oh shit.
Does it
maybe
look
not.
like one of the missing girls that we were looking for?
Nope, it was a boy that
was a
you're
boy,
looking for. This is an adult,
Mm.
maybe like late 20s, early 30s, something like that.
Mhm.
Black hair, sort of maybe like hair that would be maybe about like chin length,
Mhm.
um, sort of Trent Reznor length, I guess, and
Mhm.
or 90s Trent Reznor,
Mhm.
and sort of like gray, rough spun kind of like clothing,
Mm.
Like a
um,
peasant.
like a peasant, yeah,
Peasant
um,
clothing.
but with some like wristbands that look like more finely woven,
Oh.
um, and not like jewelry or anything, but looks a step above just the common,
Okay.
everyday like farmer type person. But yeah, like lying, they're wearing boots and pants, and like just like lying there
Hmm.
in this coffin
Like side by side next to the mummy.
next to the mummy.
Oh man. And is there any like jewelry or gold or any kind of like raiment on that the skeleton has, or you mentioned that guy, but the skeleton is just mummy, like just wrapped in
It, it's
gauze.
it's wrapped, yeah, it's wrapped up, and like, yeah, I mean, that's all. I mean, like, yeah, you can't, yeah, there's no other info that you can glean just from that. It looks like a shriveled old wrapped up body.
So can I can I like reach down and like check the person and see if he's alive? Like, shake him. It's like, hey,
Yeah, you do. Um, and they're definitely not dead,
okay.
but they definitely want you to think that they are.
Like they're keeping their eyes closed and but their lips are kind of like they're like so I'm like angry, right? So I'm like, what the fuck is this, right? And I like, what are you doing? And I try and is this some kind of joke? And I like try and wrestle him out of the like pull him out towards me.
Yeah,
Bitch slap him.
he tries to stay as limp as possible, but once you get him over like the edge of the coffin, it looks like it's starting to hurt. So he kind of like, kind of tries to break his fall, or sort of like maneuver so he doesn't, and then just you pull him out and he just like flops on the ground, and he's breathing heavily, but like still trying to play dead.
So I pull my sword and I like say, enough with your games, peasant. Tell us what your business is here. This is strange.
I mean,
Um,
if this is just a body, there's no reason why we shouldn't just set it on fire, right? And I'm like winking at him.
While they're all focused on this, can I slip out of the room and check out those lights?
yeah, sure. But I want to continue on this one thing for
Okay.
a sec. Um,
They seem distracted.
Well, the question is whether Cadigan is distracted. I've taken an oath to keep you safe. If you want me to be distracted, I'll be distracted. I'm happy to be distracted.
well,
Um,
I mean, you know, what distracts you guys is up to you, you know.
yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
So the guy, once Nelsworth says that thing about the fire, and once and Alondil has his sword to his neck or something,
Mhm.
he, you know, he's like, no. Oh, he opens his eyes and says, no, 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 don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. I'm just, please, no.
I reach over sort of reassuringly and say like, No, I wasn't gonna set you on fire. I just wanted you to drop your charade." And I sort of like offer a comforting gesture, and I'm like, "Tell me what's going on here."
He says, I came to try to find the boy, and when I came in here, it was too late. It was too late.
It's too late. The boy is dead. You have proof of this?
No, I don't know. I don't know if he's dead or what, but there was uh apparition pulling him through, and he points over to the corner of the room. You guys are kind of like at the where the sarcophagus is. It's kind of like at the, you know, at the end of that long room,
On the west,
Mhm.
on the west side, like
the
at
west side.
on the west
Yep.
side.
So
And then
on the northwest corner,
mm,
he points to the corner.
Hmm.
Um and let me get a good description so I can explain this well.
yeah, because I
Um
heard like this room was rectangular and the sarcophagus was on the far, like on the short side on the west, and the door that the dancing lights went through was like to the north.
yep, on the north
And
wall
and we came
towards the
in from the
east.
south,
Yeah.
and this is
Yep.
all vaulted. Right.
So he's pointing, and you know, like when you look over at the corner of the room, you know, you see that, you know, more of what you already saw was that there's lots more of bones, not just the skulls in niches, but like bones as part of like geometric kind of like decoration and stuff. So you kind of get a better idea of the decor of this place. That, yeah,
Hmm.
like, you know, he's pointing like towards this corner.
It's like necro chic.
Yeah. And
Okay.
as you know, but as he says that, he sort of like looks like kind of like to his, you know, one side and the other. I don't know if you guys could see my eyes, but you know,
Yeah.
he's like sort of like looking, you know, like one side to the other.
Huh.
Oh. Hmm.
I have
This
a question for you. Can you explain to me the mechanics of how you crawled in the tomb and set the trap behind you?
Mhm.
He just plays it blank, just
Huh.
plays it dumb.
Yeah.
What trap?
Okay.
You're lying. And like I do the like intimidation thing, like you're lying. Give us the goods now. Like tell us what's the truth now, or I touch you right here.
My friend Alondil has had a very bad day, and I suggest you cooperate with him.
Nice, Pete. Awesome.
He says, I don't know anything about a trap. I was just I knew it was too late for me to help the boy, and then I heard you coming in the other room, and I heard that weird creaking and knocking of whatever you fought, and I was scared and I just climbed in.
Perhaps he simply got lucky with the trap.
It could be.
That's a lot of luck.
It is.
Pushed it, slid it to one side, climbed in, slid it back over. Just got lucky in moving the right corner.
Huh.
And he says, well, okay, Alondil, what you're trying to interrogate him?
Yeah, I say you have 3 seconds, or I stab you right here and now.
He says, I know nothing. Please spare me. And like from underneath he's got sort of like a vest, kind of like a tunic, sort of like open like thing in the
Yeah.
front. And he reaches in and pulls out like a silver, it's like a neck ring. He says,
Mhm.
please, I'll give you this if you just spare me and let me go.
Interesting.
It's a torque,
Uh-huh.
like a torque, like, right?
Yep.
Silver torque. I grab it. Where did you get, like, does it look ancient? Like, does it look like it's treasure
Looks
from here?
old. Yeah.
So
Where did you get this?
It's a,
I found it. I found it in here in the coffin.
well, if you're a grave robber, then just say so.
Well, I didn't mean to. I was just gonna take it with me.
What
I
do you
was
want,
gonna leave.
boys?
Okay, so we're gonna hit pause on you guys, and now Skooky is slinking off,
Yeah.
trying to get, over into the other room.
I obviously know what's going on here. These floating lights are definitely the key to the whole crypt thing.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna check them out. See if I can communicate with them. They seem like maybe they're alive.
Um, Cadigan, what do you think? Which way are you looking? What are you more drawn to?
I think I'm kind of I think it's not interesting for Cadigan to keep um to keep Skooky safe by just preventing him from touching bad things. I think it's more interesting for her to lose sight of him temporarily, but then be able to see him when he gets into trouble in a minute. So
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Um,
better narration.
yeah.
okay. So let's see. Map. Where's the map? Okay. Uh, okay. So you start walking toward the doorway, into the dark, um, trusting yourself and trusting in that these lights will give you the answers to this problem, possibly the secrets of the entire universe. And give me an ob3 will test.
All right,
Uh-oh.
here we go. Now I have to remember how to do this. Active obstacle 3. Other modifiers? No. Enchanted. I'm sick too. Oh, so it did lower my will. All right. I don't think I can really put anything in here. Let's see. Wizard Sight. I think I want to use Wizard Sight here. So I want to see what the nature of these things are, if they're magical, and I think Wizard Sight will help me.
So Hank, your only condition right now is you're sick. Is that correct?
Yes.
Well, at
So
least you get your trait.
Yep.
how do I do that? So use trait for self, +1
Yep.
dice, and here we go.
And now remember, guys, you have points now. Or well, I think you have had points. So
Okay.
you've got
You can
you've got
spend
fate and
persona to get
persona.
bonuses. Wait, so Hank, have you already rolled?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, let's talk before you make rolls. Just as
Okay.
a practice, it's
I
better.
thought we were done talking. That's why I rolled.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's okay. I mean, I don't think anyone can really help you right now. But in terms of like maybe fate and persona point expenditures, is that what you mean, Chuck?
Yeah, there's that. There's also if he didn't have much of a chance on the roll, then it would make sense for him to intentionally fail it, use the trait against himself and earn a check, right? So there's a lot of
That's true.
there's a lot of strategy here that you want to think about before you start making rolls. But
Yeah,
Oh, and
it's good.
also I do want to say one thing. It's pretty easy to like be like, oh, I'm not going to pass the test anyway, and I'm going to get a check. I'll use a trait against myself and get a check. But if you guys have a lot of dice, if everybody's helping, and you have a high skill on something,
that's a good
use the trait
moment for it.
against yourself. You're
That's
still
right.
role playing. You're still like,
Right.
Right.
you're letting your hubris or whatever come into play, or your fiery nature or whatever it is, fiery
That's
trait.
right.
But yeah, like you can use a trait against yourself and succeed, on a roll that will be successful. So
Yeah.
don't forget that either. Using a trait against yourself doesn't mean you're gonna fail.
Right.
Hmm.
But I
Um,
did fail.
But you okay, so let's see. You rolled a 6. You've got fate points. You want to use a fate point and
Oh, I did get a 6.
roll your
Yeah,
6.
I definitely do.
Oh,
How do-
you're close. That's great.
I'm not sure if there's a special mechanism to do that, but
You want me to just
like
roll a d6?
I think so, yeah.
Spend the fate and just roll a d6. Oh,
Ah,
Dang it.
traitors.
There it is.
Okay.
Spent.
Use a wise, book wise or elf wise. I don't think either one of these would help you after the fact. Okay, so yeah, you spent that, and now you're gonna check. I just checked it for you. Your total spent is 1 now.
Oh, right. Okay.
So make sure that you guys use, when you use fate or persona, you add it to the spent, because that's how you know when you're gonna level up.
Oh, okay, got it.
All right, so you have now just sort of like, you were you had your own movements when you were like kind of like lurking towards the door, but now you kind of like, your arms are sort of like drooped to your sides, and you're just sort of like slowly stepping in to the archway, and now like out into the darkness, just silently. No, you're mumbling. You're mumbling in like some weird incoherent,
Oh shit.
some incoherent to maybe the other guys. Maybe it could be like
You
some
know
kind of
what?
like
I know
weird.
what I'm mumbling. I am mumbling. I am sounding out those sigils that I read off.
Oh,
Nice.
cool. Yeah.
Nice.
All right,
Well,
and you
go
guys can hear it.
down
Yeah, you guys can definitely hear him. I'm sorry. Say, go ahead.
Anon Nathrak Usvat Bethud Dos Diende.
Nice.
I love
Nice.
that movie.
And
What
with
is it?
that,
What is that
that,
from?
Excalibur.
Oh,
oh, nice. And with
So,
that, our torches need to be relit, and we also are hungry
yep.
and thirsty again.
whoa.
So I'm checking off hungry and thirsty.
Yep.
All of us, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And someone's gonna have to spend a torch. I think I had spent the last torch. I'll go ahead and spend another torch if that's good.
Yeah, light the next torch. And right now it's low stress except for Skooky slinking off. So anyone that like wants to eat or drink can do so. Skooky, I'm gonna say that you can't because you're kind of entranced. Um,
So we can, and when you say we can eat, since we've already used our wine skin or our water skin, at this point we've got to eat. And if I have preserved rations 2, I can make it preserved rations 1, and now I've no longer hungry and thirsty.
yep.
Okay,
But
I'm
Yeah,
gonna.
and just
shouldn't
as a
we?
as a point of order, hungry and thirsty, you can eat or drink. It's not one of
Right.
it's just yeah.
But I have a question about like the situation.
Hmm.
Like we have this dude in front of us, and we have that like a conversation, an argument growing. Suddenly, my stomach starts to growl, right? And I hear like Skooky mumbling and running off, and Cadigan going, "Ah, what do I do?" Right? I think like it's like if we kind of say, "Oh, I'm just checking off a ration now to get it rid of the hungry and thirsty," it does like I don't feel it's real, like
That's
I
fine.
would
That's
I
fine.
would
Yeah.
Mm,
not do
that's
that
totally fair.
because it
Yep.
doesn't it feels like mechanical then. Whereas
Right.
I think like when we can stop down and eat,
Mm,
we should do
Yeah.
that, you
Yeah.
know?
There has to be that. But
mm.
also, and I can say this though, and I just sort of thought of this as we're talking about it. Um, oh, I'm hungry, and you decide to be like, okay, I'm gonna like take a moment to get some rations out. I can make something happen. Like that's a cost for you. That's a cost that you guys can decide to take
Right.
individually. Like if someone does want to say like, oh man, I'm really fucking thirsty right now. Let me just go and grab a quick drink.
Yeah.
It's taking you out of that moment and out of
Okay.
engagement. So if you guys do want to do that, there will be a fictional cost
Okay.
to it.
Okay.
Can I? Mm. Um, what happens when you share a ration? Do you only like, you know, satiate half
You
of your
you,
hunger, or?
you uncheck you put half of an X on there. No, I'm just kidding. No, you can't split rations.
Hmm.
You can multiply rations by cooking them.
Yeah.
But that's
Mm,
that's only in camp. Yeah, you
okay.
can't split them.
Hmm.
Okay.
Uh, so I think like in the moment, like I get distracted by the danger that could happen with Skooky taking off. And as sister, I look at you and I'm like, sister, you know, go and get him. Like he's in danger.
Yeah, we're getting just waiting for a chance to act here. Um, all right. So yeah, Sister Cadigan was trying to keep an eye on him. Got refocused on the guy that you guys just managed to get. And you're holding up this beautiful stole or a toque or some kind of silver outfit from the dead body, and then realizes that he's wandered off and is wandering into the darkness. Can Sister Cadigan see the floating lights that are in the darkness, or is that just something that uh only Skooky can see?
um, yeah, you can see them.
Okay. So there are these were not just an illusion seen by one person, but rather something that we all see.
Right now, I'm gonna give you this.
I don't want to see him. I want to
Right,
focus
right,
on him, but yeah.
right. Okay, I'm gonna give you this question. If you're able to process this with your afraid state, that's up to you.
Yeah.
Do you want to know for sure if he's following something real, or do you want to focus on him?
I'm focused on him.
Okay.
I just was curious in the narrative whether she saw these lights also. So she does see the lights also.
I don't want to say yes, but I
Oh,
kind of do want to say yes also. um, fuck. Yeah, you can see him. You can see him.
okay. All right.
I gotta ask you to make a will test.
Okay.
Mm.
I was afraid of that. Um,
Oh,
all right.
Give me 2 seconds.
this is like a siren song, basically, it sounds like.
Can I because I'm concerned about this thing, call everyone else's attention to this so that we can face this threat together?
Make the will test first.
Okay, so this is not a case where I can get help with the will test. That's what I was hoping to do.
No, that's the thing. Nellsworth was Pete was right. It's you're pulled by this thing.
One other question. Since you're calling on us to do the will test and this is not something I set out to do, does this count against us in the grind?
It does.
Okay.
Sometimes things like this don't, but only sometimes. If a trap happens and people or like some kind of twist happens that's like a rock slide or something where multiple people are affected by it, and everyone has to make a health test to jump out of the way or something. All of those rolls, they're all in one
Well, that's
turn.
actually my concern is precisely
They're
that
all in one turn. Yeah.
we one at a time turn around and see this thing, we're going to be running through the grind really fast because we're each going to make a will test. That was my whole concern.
Right.
So, at any rate, it's going to count against us on the grind. Here we go. So she's got a will 4, and we know that the ob here is 3. Is that right?
The ob is 3. Yep.
Okay. Um, and how do you use a wise to help yourself on a test?
You got to
It's
do it first, right?
well,
Got to
no,
do.
it's you're either using it in lieu of help to someone else
Uh-huh.
before a test, but after when you're using it for yourself, it's generally after.
After the thing. Okay.
Yeah.
So I do have a relevant wise, I think, here. We'll see how that works out. Um,
You can channel your nature.
okay.
Do you think I mean, of course, you can channel your nature if it's outside of your nature descriptors,
Yeah,
but
I
do
hear
you
you.
feel like you would be like maybe like trying to tap, your inner reserves?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is important, certainly. The first question, can I use touched by the gods or defender since I'm trying to defend my goal here is to defend my friend. So I'm trying to focus on him and not on these lights. So can
Yeah,
I channel the defender trait to help myself on this?
totally.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and check off a beneficial use of that. And that's going to give me a total of 6 dice on 3, which isn't so bad. And then I think I have a relevant wise if need be. And I think that's going to make sense. Because I'm not sure this is an occasion for tapping nature. Because my nature descriptors are boasting and demanding and running. And that's not quite right for this. I'm not running away from this at the moment. I'm running
Right.
toward it.
But of course, you still can channel your nature.
Right.
You're just giving it everything you got. You're only you tap you tax your nature if it's outside of your descriptors and you fail.
And I fail. Got it. Oh, and it's only if it's outside your descriptors that you tap it. Sorry, if I tap it, there's still a cost if it's outside my descriptors, isn't there? Isn't there always a cost?
Um,
Or do I just need to spend a persona to do it?
let me just check. see. Nature. Okay. Channeling your nature, channeling within your nature, no further cost or penalty, pass or fail. Channeling outside your nature, you channel your nature for a test that does not fall within your character's nature descriptors and are successful. Your nature rating is temporarily reduced by 1. Okay, yep, you were right
Great.
about that. Yep. And if acting outside your nature and you fail, your nature is taxed by the margin of failure.
By the margin of failure. Got it. Got it. Okay.
So taxing your nature by 1 is not a horrible thing.
Not heroism.
And it's also interesting when it goes down though too.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so I'm kind of inclined to throw the kitchen sink at this because I really don't want to have a whole sequence of this. And this is important to me. I'm trying to protect my friend. At the same time, I think we're doing well. I've got Forces of Darkness Wise as a wise I can pull in. So I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna tap my nature. I'm just going to use the trait. And
okay.
hopefully this will work. So what am I doing? I'm clicking will.
Yep.
And it's obstacle 3. I'm rolling 4 dice. I'm using a trait for myself. I only get 1 die? Oh, I see. I get it twice. That's the deal.
Yeah, that's dumb. That's not a good way. Yeah, plus 2 dice per session. That's not accurate. I mean, that's not the right way to notate that.
Now I understand. I was thinking I was going to get 2 dice. I'm getting 1 die. So maybe I do want to use my nature. 5 isn't enough on a 3. I think we agree this is outside my nature.
Yeah.
Hey, okay, go ahead.
Um,
I used my wizard sight when I did that last check, even though I failed. Do I need to check on beneficial use?
You used it, yeah.
Okay. Got it. Sorry about that check.
that's okay. In that case, I think I'm going to use. I'm going to use Defender against myself, if that's all right.
Okay. Yeah.
And that way I can earn a check because I need a check. Here we go.
Yeah, this is exactly what I was saying. Yeah, you're going to be in good shape. So
Okay, so I'm using a trait against myself. I'm using nature, tapping nature outside, and I've got 7 dice on 3. And I see these lights in front of me. I know they are a distraction from what's important, and I am a little eager. I'm a little overconfident in my ability to protect my friend. But at the same time, I'm throwing the kitchen sink at this. This is the thing that is most important to me. All right, here we go. Skooky. Don't go into the light.
Nice. Wow. Good job.
holy shit.
Nice.
Yeah. So here's the deal. So you see the lights, and you sort of feel a little bit of this like entrancing pull, but your desire to, your eagerness to help, you're channeling your nature, and it's outside of human nature to do this, I guess. So you're kind of like going against, you're kind of transcending yourself, to help your friend. And like that pull just goes away. It's like, that like that sort of like real delicious feeling, like when you're sort of like falling into a nap,
Yeah.
and like in like you just kind of wanna drift off and it just feels really good.
Yeah.
It's like that, like you're feeling that, but you shake yourself out of it, and it's in that haze is gone. So you're no longer entranced by these lights, and now you can totally focus on Skooky. So what do you do?
I grab hold of Skooky, turn him bodily around so he's not facing the lights but facing me, and shake him and say, "We need to get back to the party. You're going out into darkness."
Skooky, what do you say?
Anal Nathrak. No.
No, definitely. No, lean into it. I mean, because you're fucked up, dude.
Okay. Usvat Bethud Dotiel Dienve. And I'll try to turn back around.
All right.
Yeah, what do you do? Yeah, I mean, this is you guys. This is all you guys until I need to jump in.
Okay. I am trying to bodily drag him back into the other room with me. And I don't know if I'm using my fighting skill to push him and get him out of danger.
Just
And
tell me,
I'm
just tell
not
me what,
fighting,
just tell me
Chuck.
what you do, and I'll
Got it. Thank you.
go.
Yeah,
Go
so
ahead.
I am
Go ahead.
bodily dragging him like a recalcitrant 7-year-old into the correct room.
And
And I'm
Skooky,
not fighting her. I'm actually trying to convince her, like pointing over there. We need to go there.
you you in your mind, you're saying you're trying to reason with her, but Cadigan, he's like, you're trying to like hold a cat, like a wet cat, he's just like not having it. But Skooky, in your mind, you're like, we gotta go, you're sort of in a partial dream state, but you're kicking and flailing. So Chuck, you're gonna need to make a health test. You guys are gonna do a versus health test.
Okay.
And as a side note, health is used for general stuff that doesn't relate to like knowing how to do something.
Okay.
Tests of strength or speed, just raw strength or speed, things like that. And
Yeah.
similar thing with will.
Was I supposed to spend a persona or a fate to tap my nature in that prior role?
Yeah.
What did I spend? Was it a persona?
Tap nature, it's a persona. On here it says tap, in the new rules it's called channel. But yeah, it's persona.
Tap nature. I see where it is on the sheet now. Thank you.
All right, so
Health.
yeah, so it says I roll for Skooky,
Okay.
Okay.
and there's no test, there's no advancement for the thing. You're sick, so that doesn't matter anyway. How do I roll the dice? Here, I got it.
/R.
And Skooky, what is your health?
3.
3.
Do I get to find out what the ob is before I decide how much I'm spending on this?
It's a versus test, so
Oh no, I
so
do not get to find out.
So Skooky's rolling, trying to get an idea of what your general odds are.
Yeah, I'm rolling. She's rolling 3 dice, but I don't know how many successes. I understand. So I'm tempted to sort of throw the sink at this again. This feels like an occasion where I'd be using Defender. I could use Defender for myself. Is that fair? Eric?
Yeah. I'm sorry, my earphones were doing something weird. Yeah, definitely. I mean, because you're trying to defend Skooky.
I'm trying to defend Skooky. I just checking it. Great. So defending Skooky, rolling health, and I'm gonna have 5 dice against 3. We'll see how I do.
Okay. I roll
Only
one.
success.
What's the obstacle?
1.
1.
No,
Okay.
but wait, hold on. Are you in your? Where's your thing? Sister Cat again. Where are you? Did you click will? I'm sorry, health.
I was getting set to.
Okay, yeah, okay, you're in there. It's versus.
Oh, it's a versus. Got it.
So 3. But I rolled 1. And I'll keep that.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make it into a independent test then, just because it's against obstacle 1 effectively. Is
Yep.
that fair? Okay.
Yep, that works.
Okay, and I'm using a trait for myself. Total 5 dice. Here we go.
2
What
successes.
happened? 2 successes to 1. Okay. Yeah. So so you grab him. You got a hold of him, and let's see.
Why does my thing say -1 successes underneath it?
Oh no, that's confusing.
It says 2 versus 1, but then it says -1 successes. I'm just not sure what that -1 is about.
Yeah,
It
I'm not sure
is.
if it's factored in or not.
Is it adding up all the hungry?
It's you're
and-
hungry and thirsty.
But that's only
Hungry?
supposed
No,
to
no,
be-
no, no. That's just for disposition. No
Yeah.
help. Yeah, it shouldn't be that. So ignore it.
Okay, that's what I thought. It's just if it were disposition in a conflict, I understand.
Yep.
All right. So success. Great.
So he's still gibbering and jabbering, blah, 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 but you've got him like, kind of like locked up in a bear hug, and he's still just, mumbling and sort of, sort of trying to move, but he doesn't have the strength anymore to fight you. So he's just still blah 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 blah, like in his mind trying to reason with you. But anytime you kind of like, sort of let your grip off a little bit because it seems like he's docile, he starts to wriggle again, tries to get out. So you're gonna have to hang on to him.
Got it.
Wow. I wonder if there's a way to cure me of this. Maybe not until we camp.
I think in the meantime, this interrogation is ongoing, and Nullsworth is kind of like holding the head of this guy and being like, "What is this? What do you know about this? Why is this happening to them?"
Yeah, and Elondale is kind of caught in the middle. Like, do I go? Like I don't want to leave you. Like, you know, again, I'm getting impatient. I'm like, I don't want to leave you with this guy.
Yeah.
You can't trust him. But look at Skooky's run off. Ah, it's all going to shit.
And I'm really trying to lean into the good cop, bad cop thing. Like,
Nice.
I'm really trying to be like, talk to me, trust me. Like, this guy's gonna mess you up, like. So, however frustrated you are, Elendil, like, I'm trying to play off of that.
Totally, yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. He says, did one of you ask what the lights are?
Yeah, I asked specifically, like, what is this? What is happening to these guys?
He says, I don't know. I don't know. This is all just, this was, such a bad idea. I don't know. I don't know.
Can I insight?
Elendil, I'm not getting anywhere here. I think it's time for your approach.
Can I get an insight check?
Intimidate. Oh, there is no intimidate.
It
I
would
think
be
manipulator.
persuader, probably persuader, but possibly manipulator. Yeah, depending on how you go about it.
The question is if this guy knows anything, and it's tricky to know if he knows anything.
It looks like he doesn't, but I think I
Yeah.
just don't know if we can really trust him. Like
I'm getting vibes that he's holding something back.
right. Definitely. Mm.
Like, seriously, how do you get into a fully armed trapped sarcophagus? Like, something is fucking up here.
He's clearly a grave robber of some kind, and
Oh.
not just someone looking for a child.
Okay, how about if can I roll persuader as an intimidation? Like, is it like, is it sort of broad because you don't have like debater and like burning wheel
Right.
every single iteration of social skills?
Yeah. You're like, when you're interrogating someone with like intimidation, you're definitely you're persuading them to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can, persuader can be soft and gentle, but it can also be forceful and violent. So yeah, he's not giving up the information that you're trying to get from him. And like you guys have definitely like worked him with the social stuff. But he's just on the edge, you know.
Mm,
He's
So I
trying to
think we
like
have,
point to the corner, you know, like he went through there.
Maybe we
mm.
should look into this corner thing,
yeah.
or we should go out and camp. I'm pretty hungry. If we go out and camp, we can prepare food and make our rations go further.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
we've got
but
a member of the party who's crazy right now.
Mm.
how about okay, I'll go look in the corner, see, like, but that's a trap. I know he's trapping me. Fuck that
Yeah.
shit. The other side of it is, Eric, like, Nullsworth and I are doing what we are, like, we've been at it now for two scenes of like trying to think, do we roll dice or
Right.
That's it.
like
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like
I'm feeling like we've kind of done a lot. We have to roll the dice to to resolve the situation now.
because here's kind of like how I'm looking at it too, and this is sort of like influenced by something like a
Well, you just cut out your audio there. What? Damn it.
I think his batteries are dying.
Mm.
Possible.
Well, I mean, if this guy is not going to be useful, like we do need someone to, be the first person to step into. We do need a human shield after all.
Mhm.
Oh, use him as a meat shield
Yeah.
until Smart. We were running a bunch of thieves and we were super evil. This was a campaign many, many years ago. And we were doing that. We were taking like villagers and various passersby, and whenever we needed to go into a dangerous place, we would throw them in as sort of a
Terrible. That's really bad.
that's terrible.
I
We
mean,
eventually got
I tried the nice way.
You know why we were playing in this guy's world who was kind of like a sociopath? He had no social skills, so he didn't care if the whole party got TPK'd. And it was dog eat dog, man. His world was like there weren't areas where it was like designed for your level, that kind of thing. Like if you didn't know his world and you wandered into this dangerous area, well, you were in this dangerous area. It didn't matter what level you were.
I like that. Like when you butt up against a 8-will wizard in the city of Lankmar.
I don't think anybody would give you an 8-will one. That's too
Hey,
crazy.
you guys knew how powerful he was. He owned the magic bookstore that the Wizards of Lankmar used.
I know.
112.
Mm-hmm.
So
Good,
right now,
Eric?
Peter, I was going to remind you to mark a failed test, but then I realized you're not allowed to right now. Is that correct? Because you're sick?
Mm.
Hank?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do much.
Okay, we get to be level 2 once we've spent 3 fate and 3 persona. I've spent a persona so far, so that's a kind of progress.
Yep. Eric, you good there? No?
I don't think he's good. I think he is bad. I'm gonna grab an apple since we're a little bit on break.
Okay.
Can we do some like meta talk here right now, or is it like
Yeah.
inappropriate?
Yeah, sure.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. God damn it. I'm like a caveman over here. Yeah, you can do a little bit of meta talk. Yeah, as long as you can kind of like weave it into like, natural story. But yeah, let me run to the bathroom real quick, and you guys can chat.
Right. Yeah, so I'm just like, in my mind, like this guy's either useful to us or he's not, right? Like I want to do right by him if I can, but he's making it really difficult. You know? Like,
Right. I think, and the only way we can really find out anything
mm,
is if we roll dice
mm-hmm.
and succeed or fail. And I'm not sure if that like if what that does to the turn tracker and all that, because I know in this game, if you rolling dice is also creeping forward on the risk chart, you know,
Yeah,
because you're wasting time, right?
yeah.
No, so
This guy, you know what? This guy might have a condition that's preventing him from cooperating with us. I
Yeah.
wonder if we could remove his condition and then he become helpful.
And like, maybe he's under some sort of threat that he can't talk. Maybe he's aware of the spell that's, you got you guys hypnotized
I
somehow.
can't see that, and I can't see just metagaming. I shouldn't be metagaming, but I can't see why he'd be in there and be of almost no use. So I think
Yeah,
he's in there, and there's some trick we have to figure out to make him useful. That's
yeah.
metagaming.
So
I
just
agree. That's why I don't want to let it go.
yeah. And you know what? Air keeps pointing to the corner and the bones.
Yeah. Maybe,
That's
you know how
definitely
I was saying meat shield? Maybe this guy goes into the corner.
so. Well, I guess you're the captain, Pete
Mm.
Nellsworth. What do you want to do?
I think Eric was about to say something though when his audio went out.
Oh yeah.
But his mouth's full, so
I was gonna say, um, it sounds like you're threatening force on him. Um, and he's still withholding. Um, like technically, not technically, but like a good idea here, in the torchbearer, like parlance of
Yeah.
like coming up with a good idea and you don't have to roll. Like the good idea here would be chopping his finger off or like actually stabbing him, like
Mm,
actually using the force.
mm,
Uh-huh.
Then he might talk. Um,
mm.
that's the thing, like that's what like that's like the barrier of the rules, like
Yeah,
the fiction and your explanation goes only so far. So yeah, like you're threatening force and it's not working. Maybe if you actually use the force, he'll say something. But
oh,
if you don't want to do that, and it sounds like you don't, then you'd continue, then you'd push through with the rules to see if you can actually take that chance and make it work.
Got it.
Well, yeah, like we were saying, because both Peter and I are doing good cop, bad cop. So I think it's a social role now of persuade
Yep.
because we're both playing a game of trying to convince this guy.
Yep. And
So
you did get more information out of him. You got him to give up some sort of, different ideas, but not, you didn't get to the stuff that you really want to know.
mm,
yeah, I mean, we really want to know is like, is he working for is he gonna stab us in the back, or can he be trusted, right? Or like, what does he know about what lies beyond?
Right.
Okay,
maybe
so shall we do it?
correctly.
So like what
Yeah.
everything that we've been trying, should we just now roll? Like I have Persuader 2. It's not much.
You're
Nelsworth, do you
certainly
have
getting help
Persuader?
from Ellsworth.
Can I somehow use my manipulator in
Oh
this
yeah.
situation?
Um,
Yeah.
Which is kind of what I've been doing already, but can I actually use that skill
Yeah.
Persuader.
mechanically?
Yeah. Well, Persuader helps Manipulator, I'm pretty
Mm,
sure.
Yeah.
Vice versa.
mm,
And exactly, like I'm helping you. I'm pretty sure I feel like I I'm
So,
helping
like-
you do all. You're talking and I'm
Mm.
gesticulating.
Yeah, persuader's helped by manipulator,
Mm.
and manipulator is helped by persuader.
So it's whichever way you guys want to do it as to who the actor is and who the helper is.
Pete,
I think even though like it's gonna be Ellendale's hands, I think that this has kind of been Nullsworth's play.
yes.
Like I've been kind of painting Ellendale as bad cop the whole time. Like it's been my initiative, you know?
Yeah,
So
totally. I agree.
perhaps I'll start off with manipulator and have you help.
Choose my, yeah, get my help. Yeah.
And Elendil's help with persuader is holding the sword to his throat, like
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
poking
Bad
it into his
copy.
skin.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
gonna kill you. I'm gonna stab you, you asshole.
But it looks as though when you do this, we're going to be advancing one on the turn tracker. If one of you
Yes.
wants to spend one of your torches, Cadigan's got her arms full at the moment.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What is the status between me and Ellendale? Neither of us have a source of light currently.
I have a torch.
Did you just light one, or is this a torch from before that was lit?
Oh no, I haven't lit a new torch. I guess we're in the dark right now. A little bit. Like
Also,
So,
keep in
Mhm.
mind that this will be the third test. This will be the third turn. Then we'll begin the fourth turn. And if something happens in that fourth turn and you guys don't remedy hungry and thirsty,
Mhm.
you're gonna get the next thing.
Great.
Mm.
So
That's
can
cool.
we, now that Cadigan is back and she's got her hands full, is it possible for her to get a bite to eat while we're waiting while these guys talk to this guy, or is this that hard to do since she's got her hands full with?
If someone's feeding you, then yes, but
I hear you.
it might be the safest thing to do is bind Skooky in rope.
Got it.
I'm actually hungry and thirsty as well. Can I pay attention to that even though I'm sick?
Yeah. You can maybe say, I might picture, Skooky seeing other people eating and saying like, I'm starving too, and then maybe someone could just like stick a granola bar in your mouth or whatever.
All right.
I'll do
If it's all right with you, here, Nullsworth, since you're our leader, I think Sister Cadigan has rope that she carries in a bandolier around her torso. She takes some of that rope and binds Skooky to keep Skooky good, and then gets her food out and starts eating preserved rations and offers some to Skooky and gets Skooky interested in food also. So
Mhm. I feel like you communicate as you're doing that. You communicate it with like sort of eye contact with me, and I sort of acknowledge what you're doing as I'm handling this situation.
okay,
Yeah.
great. All
And
right.
why don't you, instead of sharing your rats, because that's not allowed anyway, it
Yeah, it
just
is.
be mine.
Yeah, why isn't it allowed?
I thought it wasn't.
I asked earlier.
Well,
Well, splitting and sharing are two different things, I guess.
right.
Splitting and sharing are
I can
different things.
I can spend 2 rations from my own stores to feed
Mm.
you and myself.
Mm.
Gotcha.
What I can't do, that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to spend 2 rations from my stores.
Nice.
I may have misunderstood the question, I guess, maybe. Pete, did you mean splitting one ration between two people?
That is what I meant when I
Okay.
asked that question.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so Cadigan feeds Skooky.
Yep.
Okay. Alondel, do you take a moment to just have a bite to eat?
Well, I'm in the middle of this
Interrogation.
interrogation.
Okay, so
I feel
in Ellsworth, you don't either then?
I actually wanted to tie all these mechanical things into a narrative thing.
Great.
Hey.
Let's hear it.
So I wanted to take out a fresh ration, let's say the fresh ration's an apple, and holding it in my hand, I'm like, we're running out of options here. And I'm holding the apple in front of them. And I'm like, I'm really trying the good way. And then Elendil pulls out that torch. And he's like lighting up the torch. And I'm like, we've got two options here. You know? And I'm holding up the apple and I kind of look to the torch that he's lighting. I'm like, which way are we going with this? You know, and it's sort of you know,
Do we
I see that he's hesitating, and I'm like, okay, and I take a bite out of the apple, which sort of is indicating like, well, you know, we're lighting up this torch for you, buddy.
Cool. And Sanj, you're about to say something.
Yeah, I say what he means by that is you may partake, you may share of our rations and our light, or we leave you dead in this cell. Tell us what you know.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So Nullsworth eats.
Mm.
Elendil still does not. And that's okay if you don't.
I pull out an apple and I say it mockingly as I chew on it.
Nice.
Cool. It's sort of in you guys are almost like lording your supplies, like lording your position
Yeah,
over him, kind of.
yeah.
Cool. That's great. So
Roll, yeah.
yeah, so that's gonna be
Manipulate.
Nullsworth, right?
Bye.
I bet his computer ran out of power because there was just a moment there where he said, "Oh shit." Hilarious.
So, is it possible for me to do this roll with his help when he's not on? I guess
Yeah.
he's not on
we had a
camera, but
plan.
he is behind D20, right? Roll
Yeah.
20.
Well, you actually don't
Yeah.
need his help because of the way that the interface works. You can just mark that you got his help.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
So I'm clicking
since the-
manipulator, right? Okay. I'm rolling 2. The ob is 3.
Let's see. It's gonna be a versus test
Okay.
versus his. I think it's gonna be his nature. Intimidator, trip, prevarication. Yeah, that's funny. Half truths, ugly truths, soothing platitudes, seduction, intimidation, just like Burning Wheel.
but not against his will, huh?
It is versus manipulator.
Or maybe
Can
he
you
doesn't
do
have a
versus-
separate will stat.
It's gonna be versus manipulator. Because he's trying to manipulate back.
Mm.
Oh, got it.
Sorry.
Turn it. In the name of all that is
What?
holy and the video editor, please turn the phone.
Did you change your shirt,
Oh,
Sanj?
shit. No?
I can hear you.
Yeah. But turn what? E?
Turn your video horizontal.
Oh, sorry.
Pet
There you
peeve.
go.
Much better.
Okay.
So where are we? What
So
happened? Sorry.
We're about to roll this manipulator thing.
Nice.
Okay. He's rolling. He's actually rolling beginner's luck.
Oh, he doesn't have manipulate?
Wait, what?
Nope, he's punching above his weight over here.
I have manipulator too.
No, the guy.
Oh, I see. I see. So what help? Okay, so I'm clicking help. And how many die am I getting with help? Just the one?
Yep.
Yep.
So
What's your
it's 3.
manipulator?
I'm rolling 3 die against 2.
Yeah, and that doesn't necessarily mean he's gonna get 2 hits on it, you know.
Oh, because he has to roll as well.
He's got a roll. Yeah, it's a versus roll. So,
Gotcha.
quick-witted or hidden depths, you know, I think both of those are good. But
Mm,
I'm seeing hidden depths, you know, in this.
yeah.
What do you
And
guys think?
I think quick-witted because he was like,
Uh-oh. Sanj froze.
mm,
and then the whole apple trick of, oh, you might be hungry, you know.
mm.
But hidden,
Sorry,
Keep going in and out.
you were quite choppy there. I didn't catch a lot of that. It's
doesn't matter.
probably the signal in that room.
Mm-hmm. I'm in the basement.
Mm.
So Eric, I noticed that manipulator is not one of the pull down options in the Torchbearer. It's just missing from the list of possibilities. Not a giant deal, but
Possibilities of what?
when I went to set the for turn 3 for Knowlesworth, when I went to set the skill ability, manipulator's not listed. We have
Oh,
mentor and lore master. It's just not, it's missing from the list for some reason.
interesting.
Yeah, not a giant deal, but
That's weird. We can fix that.
So we were talking about potentially throwing a trade in there.
Yeah.
And you were saying that you kind of see it as a hidden depths thing.
I was seeing it possibly hidden depths. Yeah.
Mm. Do I need to like kind of find an explanation to tie that in, or is it sort of straightforward there?
I think the way that I see it is that like if other people watching you do this would be like, wow, like I was not expecting, you know, I wasn't
This
expecting
is
this out of this little, you know, unassuming person, this sort of like very like supplicant
yeah,
Yeah.
person, you know.
yeah. And that is kind of where I'm going with the character, that there's like sort of a duplicitous nature there where he's uh puts him in self in a lower position when he thinks it's appropriate, and shows his teeth when it's appropriate, you know.
It's really classic. It's so good.
Okay, so how do I harness this hidden depths? What do I have to check off here?
It's just going to be a trait. So
Oh,
trait for
traits.
yourself. Yep.
Using trait for self. Okay. That's everything, right? I can roll.
Yeah, you got your help. Wait, hold on. Hold on one sec. Okay. Apply to all. Okay, cool. Let's see, what else do you got here?
I can't help, right? Being sick, I'm kind of out of it.
Mm.
Yeah, and you're tied up and babbling.
I figured.
Yeah, that's it right now. And you've got points to use possibly, you know, in the aftermath.
Okay, I am gonna roll if anyone does not oppose.
Go for it.
Okay. So what opponent had 0 success?
Yeah,
Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
nice.
All right.
Um, so your ploy, um, you know, it worked. Um, he says, he says, I knew this was a bad idea, and he said that before.
Mm.
Yeah, this he I was promised so much if I brought the boy down here, and he, you know, he kind of explains that he was, you know, he was promised, you know, riches and power and like a seat next to the this lord, if he brought him a new brought her a new body. And then, but he said you know, but it's when I brought the boy down here, she just took him and left me, and and said I would be cursed to walk alone for my crime, and and he starts to just sort of like kind of like break down a
I
little bit.
kind of picture myself like Jack Ryan, like just, you know, like
Jack.
as you're talking, I just like boom, shove him up against the wall and like, who was it? Who promised you the riches? Show me now. Like a now I'm like, cool, punch him in the stomach.
Whoa, okay. Do you do that?
Yes.
So you punch him.
Yeah.
Okay. He says, he says Hathor Vash. The Lord Hathor Vash,
So
promised me. But as you're punching him, he's looking at. Are you still holding the neckband?
the torque. Yeah.
Yeah. He you notice that he kind of like looks, kind of keeps looking at it.
Mm-hmm. I look.
Mm.
I can I just kill him? The guy.
And and he says, through there, oh, through there.
The fury of the elves have you.
You kill this guy?
Wow.
You be the sacrifice to this foul.
Holy shit. I mean, you can do that.
Yeah.
Like, he's
Yeah.
at your mercy, and if you want to kill this person, you can do that. No
That's
roll.
what I said I'm doing.
So you're doing it.
Yeah.
Or does anyone
Wow.
see this and want to stop it? It's okay to say no. I'm not saying that you
Sister-
should, but I'm just giving everyone the option.
I think
Sister Cat.
Good.
Yeah.
I think I would want to stop it, but I don't think I would have the means or the time or the, I just don't think I have a way of really like interfering. I would
Which-
just be in shock that this happened so suddenly.
I think Sister Cadigan, I am the church, and this is not how we handle things. So she has a strong desire to stop this. No! Do not slay this one. Let him be brought to justice. And she reaches out with her. What does she got? Does she have a staff or something?
I think you got a sword.
She has a sword and a shield. So I think she tries to interpose her shield between to prevent the thing from happening.
How does Alondor respond?
Okay, fuck. I just like I pull it back and like fuming, like angry, and it's like, you would give succor to this? What church do you belong to? This is a
I am the
player, a sacrificer to dark gods.
He was manipulated, though I agree that he does bear the mark of Shumash upon him, as the Hathor Vosh said, he will go with this curse above him till the end of his days. That is a greater punishment than if you let him out now, rather than making him trudge through the rest of life with that cloud above his head.
And what other ills will he be? What other ills will he spread throughout the lands if we let him live? Better to make him die now. The elves have made their have turned a blind eye to the folly of man too long. Ugh.
Holy shit.
All right.
I kill him.
Consequences be damned.
You know what Eric's gonna do to you, Sanj? He's gonna roll up the module and hit you on the head with it.
Well, he's gonna say that there's been a blood sacrifice, and like now the lich is gonna come out.
This. I mean, it's all okay, and I guess what when I give people a chance to intervene, it's more role playing fodder, but
Yeah.
also there's also the chance of like physical intervention,
Right.
where a test would come up.
Mm.
Right. Well, that was my goal
And-
here in putting my shield in between. I didn't mean for. I wasn't just making words. I was trying to put my shield in between. Do we want to make a roll to
Yeah,
find out
yeah,
how
yeah.
that turns out? Okay.
Chuck, all of this is me in joke. Like I'm
Totally,
slicker.
totally fine. I'm not. My feelings are not being hurt. I just was. I also didn't want to step on your toes as in
It's
your
cool.
desire to do the thing. Yeah. Okay.
I totally expected you to try and stop me.
Okay.
I'm like,
Before we move forward, I'm setting off a manipulator pass,
Yep.
right?
yeah.
I hadn't marked it. Sorry to interrupt.
All right.
No, no.
And I think everybody has cleared their hungry and thirsty. Is that correct?
Mm.
Because
Yeah,
I remember I ate and you ate. Everybody's eaten,
Right.
correct?
Yeah.
yeah, we had a
Yeah,
bite
so
of
I
it.
just cleared it.
Because this is not the moment for trying to clear it. Because now we're angry and we're about to all become angry because we're about to have a little tussle here.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that this is I don't know if it's just a health versus health or if it's a fighter versus fighter.
I think it's fighter versus fighter because he's trying to use
Yeah.
his weapon and I'm trying to interpose my shield to prevent the. And I do have some fighting skills, so we'll see how it happens.
Okay. So Chuck, you said that we needed to end a 8:45.
That would be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. This might be the last thing we do.
Okay.
This will be like the what's
Well, it's the last thing this guy will ever do.
that?
Yeah, I mean, if we win, that means I succeed and he's dead, right? We don't have
Yes.
we don't have to roll that, right?
No.
No.
That's if your intent is to kill someone, there's so many different. I mean, this is another conversation entirely. But yes, you would kill him.
Okay, I'm doing fiery. Like I'm gonna
Okay.
roll my thing, my blah blah blah, my fighter, but I'm gonna use fiery.
Oh wait. You're angry.
I'm angry. Yeah.
No, you can't use wises or beneficial traits.
No, I'm gonna use
But
it against me.
Oh, okay, cool.
Like, as like I'm too, I'm not being smooth about it, right?
Sounds good.
Using a trait. Oh, against myself. How do I do against myself?
There's a pull down menu, I think.
Oh,
in
okay.
the-
For self, against self. Okay, cool. And I got
All
no
right.
aid, no help, gear, blah 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 blah. It's all good.
Okay.
Okay.
Now the question is though, since Cadigan is rolling fighter as well,
Yeah.
how do we?
We just
I think
set
one
the
of us-
odds to 0 and just roll and
Yeah.
calculate the successes against each other.
So let me make my decisions about how I'm rolling before you roll, so it's not like I'm changing in response to what you rolled.
Mhm.
I think I'm tempted to gain another check on this because we're going to need these checks. So I'm also using my trait against myself, and I think this is specifically in the sense that I feel divided against myself. I'm helping a stranger against one of my colleagues that I've journeyed with. And I feel torn, and I hesitate as I reach out my shield. Can I get it out there in time? I desperately want to save this life, and at the same time, I don't feel good about helping this bad person against one of my friends.
Big. Very good.
All right.
This is
All
this
right.
is this is some good shit, guys.
So I
All
put
right.
obstacle type as independent so that it's
That's what I'm doing also against
Okay.
obstacle 0. Sounds good. All right.
one success for me. Tie.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I've ever had a tiebreaker.
Wow, look at that.
All right, this is kind of cool.
I think I would. It's Eric's call.
Go
But I
ahead.
was-
No, go ahead, Hank. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say narratively, it might be like they're struggling and maybe they come to the conclusion they have to try something else to resolve the situation.
Or the guy runs
Oh.
away.
I'm okay. You know that's a cool idea, Hank. So yeah, you guys can, deadlock and take the route of like, okay, like we neither of us gets it. Well, I mean, so then, I mean, if you deadlock, then what happens?
I
Yeah,
think if we
there has to be a
deadlock, it
tiebreaker.
means like if we deadlock, my sword clangs against his. I'm like about to like in a fury of fiery rage, like I'm about to stab Cadigan. Then I'm like, Cadigan looks at me with like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I like, I'm down, and I
So
take control of
narratively,
the.
I like Hank's idea, but I think like if the result of a tiebreaker is the same as the result of Cadigan winning,
Oh
then
yeah.
there's no point.
Well,
Right.
what if the bad guy runs away?
Then we both suffer.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
I'm happy for
Yeah.
that, but that
Let's
feels like a twist.
let's do a tiebreaker.
Okay.
Okay, where is that in the rule? Or I don't mean I want to slow you down, but I don't remember how to do tiebreakers in this game.
It's in the scholar's guide. I'll just go through it.
Please.
Breaking ties. If the versus test is tied, there are many ways to break it. +1 success or +2 success bonuses from traits. Spend a persona point to activate the of course aspect of an applicable wise. I don't think we're going to do that. If you rolled 1 or more 6s, spend a fate point to re-roll them. So that's the first thing that someone can do. Spend a fate point to activate deeper understanding if you have the applicable wise. Use a trait to break a tie in your opponent's favor and earn 2 checks for use in the next camp phase. Or
Got it.
make a tiebreaker roll. So the tiebreaker roll would be use the skill. If you use a skill in the initial tie test, use will or health depending on what the thing is. So you'd make a health test.
Now I don't think we're allowed to use, since we both used the trait already. We can't use traits again. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I'm not totally sure.
I think it feels weird if we used it negatively in the first instance to earn
Yeah.
a check to reuse it,
Yeah, well, you might be able to use a different trait, but I think the general rule is I think once you've used the trait once, you can't use it a second time.
Right.
I like health. I think health versus health.
I think health measures health sounds good. Let's do that.
Okay.
And by the way, we don't earn a success or a failure with our original thing because it was tied, and so we're going to only get a success or failure on our health test.
I'm
Cool.
pretty sure that's right.
2.
All right, I'm rolling it.
All right. Nice.
1. 1. Okay. So you overpower me, and you're just a little faster. I stop your blade with my shield.
Yeah.
But then your strength is enough to sort of slowly force me back until my shield is pushed off out of the way, and then you quickly slide in with the dagger and you stab him.
And I say, now we can rest in camp without worrying about what's now without worrying behind our backs.
I'll cook him to cure my hungry condition.
Wow. Okay. So, all right. So
That's cool.
Now-
I'm glad.
technical standpoint, that was turn 4. So everyone is hungry and thirsty again.
Good God.
Wow.
And since we're closing the session, with Elendil slaying this hapless idiot, this is the last, sort of like frame of the episode. You see Elendil with like blood, spattered across his face, and like Elendil, inside your mind, you hear laughing, like a deep
Ah,
laughing.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about, baby. Corruption.
All right, so now let's go to end of session stuff.
Cool. That was really fun.
Suki's gonna interrupt his Anel Nathrak, and he's gonna say in his brain, "Don't fuck with the elf." Don't fuck with the elf. Stay away from him.
When I tied the hidden depths into that manipulator role, did that count as a check on hidden depths?
Did you add it? Did you get a bonus die? Did you use it for a
Yes.
bonus?
Yes.
Then it's not a check.
It's not a check.
It's a
Okay.
Only a check if you use it
beneficial
against
use.
yourself or to benefit your opponent in a versus test.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah. So it's a beneficial use in that case. You mark it as beneficial rather than the
Okay,
other.
I did do that.
Okay, good.
Okay. Good job, guys. We got
Yeah.
that was,
Exciting.
pretty wild.
Yeah.
All right, so let's since we have to let Chuck get to dinner,
Thank you.
let's do this. So, earning fate points, acting on your belief. We'll just go down through everybody. On my screen, we've got Pete at the top. So, Pete, acting on your belief.
I need to act fast and find a way to free my fellow thralls. I mean, I feel like I did like turn up the gas on the urgency. I really wanted to make shit happen and trying to draw everyone into the contents of the casket and like forcing this interrogation. I feel like I worked towards that.
What do you guys think?
I really think Pete needs to rewrite his beliefs so that it's less a goal that he's striving toward and more a thing that he embodies.
Like a general. Yeah.
It used to be more of an embodiment, and today I kind of tweaked it.
Yeah.
Because
If you said simply, "I am the thief supreme," or "I am the loot taker," or something like that, and then you would be like taking this silver toque or whatever it is, and be like, "Yeah, or even if you didn't get the toque, you were the one who strove to get it," and then you would be like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I feel like I wrote my belief as my goal, sort of.
that's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'll rewrite my
restate-
belief back to where it was.
Maybe restate it as "I am the abolitionist.
Oh,
My goal is to free enslaved people."
Well, I think that like even though the wording changed, I think that you did embody like the this drive to really like get stuff done.
yes,
So
I agree.
so I'd say like I'd give it to you now. Make sure that we'll work on it, either between now and next session or next session to make sure that like we're getting really what he is believing.
Okay.
Because I think that you were definitely working toward it yourself. We'll just work on the wording.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that
I have an idea
fate or
for
a persona?
That's a fate. Sanj?
I have an idea for Pete. Pete, were you born into slavery or were you captured and enslaved and you've been a slave for a while?
I was sold as a baby into slavery.
So I think something to say that I am more than someone's property, you know?
Well-
then every smart deed you do, every brave thing you do is to prove your humanity or your halfling nature. You know what I mean?
I feel like that's a good character development thing, but I don't think he's there yet.
Oh.
I think he's still on the immediate need of like saving his loved ones. You know, saving the other thralls that are also, you know, a victim of this situation.
Okay.
Well, maybe
All right.
maybe
Let's
yeah,
think
okay.
about it.
Yeah, let's think about it. Or you guys workshop it over the
Mm.
week.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Hank,
Okay.
belief.
So my belief is that powerful magics are my birthright, but I think I was too sick to really focus on that. So I
Well,
really
you
think,
certainly were
go ahead.
when you went in quest of those dancing lights. Even though everyone in this room knew it was an idiotic thing to do, that was you acting on your belief. I think you utterly earn a fate point for that.
Okay.
100%.
He was under mind control, but like,
But it was him that wanted to be
But
on.
he's the one who went in quest of them in the first place, and
He
then he
wanted
missed he missed his will save. But
Yeah.
he's the one who went to go check him out.
okay,
Right.
I'm into that.
All right.
Yeah, Cadigan.
So I am the church. I acted on it when I threw my shield in a vain effort to keep that man alive.
Yeah, for sure.
I get a fate point, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, Alando.
Songs will be sung of my deeds. I
Oh.
killed the man that kidnapped the girl from the village.
Mm.
You did. You really did.
Yeah.
You little bastard. Songs will be sung of your deeds indeed.
That's a fate.
Yep.
Yeah.
When we get to
I'm not
camp,
sure
I'm
that-
gonna sing the song.
Yeah. All right, cool. Working towards your goal. Let's go in a reverse order. Sanj.
Goal, I will destroy these abominations to protect the mission. And
Oh.
I
Well,
mean,
you killed an abomination. I don't know if he counts as an abomination or not.
Did you see this guy as one of these abominations?
not as an undead, no. But I
Okay.
saw him as a servant of, like a cultist.
I'd say you work toward it.
Okay, so that's a fate, I think.
Yeah, what do you guys think?
So goals you can work toward as well as accomplish in this game.
Yeah, you work toward it,
Okay.
you get a fate. If you
Okay,
accomplish
cool.
it, you get a persona. You don't get both. You get one or the other.
Mm.
Yeah, got it.
I think you
Yeah,
got a fate.
you definitely work toward it.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, he's like working his way up the ladder.
Mm.
Yeah.
Chuck.
I kept Skoogie safe. I did it.
Yeah. So that's a fate point, or that's a persona point because you accomplished it.
All right.
Nice.
Hank.
For me, I don't want to double dip, but my goal was I want to find out the nature of these floating lights. I did work toward it, but I didn't accomplish it.
Yep, you work toward it. Fate point. Yep. Nolsworth.
I will find something of value to appease the expectations of my master, Natus Greenstreet. I mean, I don't know how much of value that neck piece is. We don't really know the result of that quite yet, but
It's a toque or a torque or something like that. Is it TOQUE?
TORQ.
Oh, it is torque. Okay, there you are. I don't know what it is. But yeah, whatever it is, it's a value.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It seemed like
comes
it was
from
going to be
all
some kind of threat.
Vikings
But
who used to have torques. That was a symbol that you were
Oh,
indebted to somebody. So, like, if I was a chieftain, I would give you a torque, and if you wore it, that would mean you pledged to me.
mhm.
oh. So in other words, he was wearing the torque because he
Yeah,
pledged himself to this undead creature. He
I
didn't
think
take
so.
it from the undead creature. He received it from the undead
I
creature.
think so.
That's really dark. I like that.
Mm.
Really
I like that.
good. Yeah.
So are we saying that this was goal achieved or
Yeah.
yeah?
Yeah.
So that's a persona?
Persona.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, okay, cool. Benefiting from your, I don't think anyone instincted this time.
Not me.
Nope.
No.
Nope. Did anyone play against their belief? I don't think anyone did, because I
No.
think you guys got points for acting on your beliefs.
Hmm.
Accomplishing your goal. Nobody went through a crisis. Okay, MVP, team worker, and embodiment. Team worker, aka workhorse.
I think Cadigan was definitely embodiment.
Yeah.
I feel like all of everything she did was a result of what drove her character. Mm.
Oh, it's kind of you.
I think
Switch it around. I would think she was more the workhorse, and Ellendale was more the embodiment of being
I think
angry.
I think
Mm.
Elendil
Well put.
was really embodying,
put.
yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. That was some really strong characterization that Sanj was doing. That was great.
Mm.
Thank you. Okay, I'll take it.
I definitely learned don't piss off the elf.
Yeah.
Lightly to the elf.
I would nominate Nullsworth for MVP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I agree.
Yeah. For getting that information out of with the manipulation, that was crucial. We learned something important.
Yeah.
And I think it was really role playing wise really well done too. Like just unassuming but pressuring, and then you kind of increase the pressure and you know, and it was just a nice beautiful arc. It was great.
Thank you. That's a Fader
And
persona.
managed to do it before Ellendale went into his psychosis, his psychotic break.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that was very
I'm-
cool. Yeah, so that's a
Thank you.
persona, Pete.
Okay, thank you.
all three of those awards are persona, I think. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
Okay. That's what
I think this session was a really good example of dungeon delving psychology play.
Mm.
You know, that you don't really feel a lot. I don't know what happens in D&D when you're down to one hit point, like if it just naturally happens, you know. Um I don't, you know, like I don't remember that much like of being with one hit point and what the role play situation is. But in this situation,
Mechanically, nothing makes you do anything.
right. I feel with this I get the mechanical cues, and then you know the ration thing, like that's why I kept on saying about the way, like I don't want the ration thing to just be tokens and you know.
Yep.
And I liked how we played it, like you had
Yeah.
you had to think to say, oh, I'm going to use my ration thing as a role playing
That was
gambit.
really fucking good, Pete.
That was
Oh,
really
thank
cool.
you.
Like I love that.
Yeah, that was a great moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost thought Eric was going to just make that the good idea when we were holding the apple in front of the guy the way they do in the police procedural. They
Yeah.
have the Coca-Cola, and so that was great. It was really nice.
I wonder.
Because I was on the
wonder
fence
if-
between that being using supplies or like using gear.
Oh yeah,
But if he did that, I wouldn't have let him eat it too. He'd have to use another
Right.
one, maybe.
right. Right.
I don't know. I mean, that might be splitting hairs, you know, but the result was great anyway, you know.
Yeah, it was great.
It's just like I
So,
think one thing in the interest of like pushing like the role the game Torchbearer to the OSR audience or whatever, like those like role playing audience, like I think it would, if we could figure out a way to use the character sheets in the video, you know, so that people can see the character
I
sheets
think
actually beautiful, and then the whole all of that.
that's such a good call, and I'll make sure. And if you guys can help me remind me when we're going to do something, and I'll share the sheet, or you share the sheet. If you're going to do something, you
Right.
can go down to the share screen and share your sheet.
Right.
great.
Yeah.
Good thinking.
Shit.
Yes,
great
we'll do
thinking.
that. Whenever we do an action, open up your sheet and do that.
Cool. Cool. Sounds great. Sounds great. So I guess next time we're going to start, and maybe the first thing we're going to do is go camping. Go Ken.
Yeah, yeah,
You guys definitely like busted your ass to get checks this time.
yeah.
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 And didn't just like you weren't just like mining for checks. You know, you weren't
Right.
just like just like mining for tests. Like it all made total sense
Yeah.
like what was happening. So and that's part of that is my job too, you know.
Right.
So
Yeah, like when I use fiery against myself because it's like making me irrational, you know?
yeah.
I like
Right.
that.
It shows you. It's brutal, by the way, getting sick. I felt like I couldn't really do anything this session, but it's all good. I mean, it shows you how difficult the sick condition is.
And
Yeah.
Oh, and I found
you don't get advancement on your skills or abilities.
I know, brutal.
That's a really
I
cool
found out.
fucked up thing.
By the way, I found out what the -1 success was about. It's because I have a backpack on.
Mm.
Right, but the backpack. Oh, right. But no, backpack is. I think backpack is just is for disposition also.
Is that
Hungry,
right?
yeah, hungry and thirsty, and the backpack is. Oh, and exhausted too. Yeah, exhausted, hungry, and thirsty, and backpack is for disposition. So keep that in mind. Like when you get into a conflict and you have your backpack on, it's harder to get like your footing. So when a conflict
I
is about
see.
to start, if you put your backpacks down, you get better disposition. But I can fuck with your backpacks.
Got it. Got it. Okay, so yeah, we should double check that rule and make sure we have it right because boy, the way they have the sheet working makes it sound like it's a 1 success at all times.
Mm.
So,
Makes sense.
all right.
Should I
Great.
stop
Thank you,
recording,
Eric.
guys?
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome job, guys. This is a really good session.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Thank you
Great.
so much.
Thanks for running everything.